All right, welcome back, my fellow hot rodders and YouTubians. Let's see, what are we going to do today? I think we're going to make Bob's new overflow catch can thing. The one that was in it, if you remember in the last video, I explained that it was the place where it used to be is no longer available because it's occupied by the turbo, which is somewhere in this area right here. The water pump also used to sit right here on this frame rail that you can barely see back there. But now the water pump is there. We're not going to cover how we did that in this video, but I think you can get an idea. There's a bracket welded right there that goes across the radiator like that, and then welds on this side of the radiator just the same way. Hoses go up to the water pump right there and right there. The feed line starts right there, comes all the way around and connects to the radiator right there. I think that's it. I don't know, I kind of can't tell where I'm pointing. No, back there, somewhere right there. So that was a little bit of a chore getting all that to work, but this time we're going to do some fabrication, and hopefully my camera stays alive long enough to do that. I think my battery is probably on its way out and it doesn't hold a charge very long. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the components to our breather tank. And as you can see, I've already laid them out and kind of rough cut them. Got this breather right here. And for anybody that's wondering, there is the part number. So we have laid out the center of this thing, and I think you can probably see it in there. So we want these discs to be just a little tiny bit smaller than the outside diameter of the tube, and this is 5-inch material. And the reason we want to do it like that is so when we weld it, it looks nice. So, well, let's get started on it. All right, so we just set our compass with our compass protractor, whatever this thing is. Just a little bit under 2.5 inches on the scale there, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's about a 1/16 of an inch undersized, so it's going to make it right at 1/8 of an inch undersized for the total diameter of this. So when we set it up there, it's going to weld nice. So we just take our center finding dealy bopper here, and this disc was already pretty round, but it was a little bit oversized. So we just put 2 lines on it. They don't have to be 90 degrees apart. Then we center punch it like that, no big deal. And it's got the blue layout fluid on there so you can see it real good. And then we scribe our line in it. And you end up with that. I think you can see the scribe line out there by the edge. These discs I had already cut down pretty close, but I wanted them perfect. So anyways, that's where we're at. All right, probably doesn't look a whole lot different in the camera, but that makes us a perfect little ledge to weld on. So I'm gonna do the other side and then we'll move to the next step. All right. Got one of them clamped down to my favorite piece of wood here for this very job. We're going to hole saw a 3-inch hole through it. Just like that. Okay, we got most everything ready to weld together, I think. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, and hopefully it turns out pretty nice. That remains to be seen. So here we go. Got the tubing cut. Got my statue of 1, 2, 3 blocks here. In case you didn't know, that is 2 inches tall, 1 inch thick, 3 inches long. For anybody who didn't know that. So we're going to take the tube and put it on top of there. The reason we're doing that is because this guy is the baffle. And Well, it's baffling. Now, hopefully my plan works. It doesn't look like it's going to fit in there like that, so we got to come up with another method here, I think. Let's try that method. There. Yeah, that worked good. Okay, so what that's doing is it's holding it up about an inch away from the top of this. And the fittings are going to go in the side, so when this bob gets a little rowdy and it starts blowing crankcase pressure into there, it hits that baffle and points it down into the catch can and keeps it from coming up towards the filter. And these slots on the side still allow it to breathe. So let's get that welded in place and then we'll move to the next part. All right, step one done. All right, we got that all welded up. I'm sweating like I just ran track for 8 hours, but here it is. So it don't look too bad. It started getting a little hot there, and that weld in that area was sinking in a little bit, but it'll be all right. We're gonna let it cool off before we weld the top piece on for the breather and the brackets and the bungs. So, okay, well, I get carried away watching TV and working in the garage all at the same time, but I made some special bungs that are going to extend the fittings off of the side of this catch can and make them where they enter the catch can straight. So I've already drilled the holes for them. I'm gonna show you how it sits and maybe that'll make more sense. So as you can see, I got the center line marked. And just for anybody that's wondering what this is and what this is and what the extra line is, whenever I do something like this, I lay this out and I know that I got it a little bit off. That arrow tells me I need to favor this side of the line. So I got it laid over to the side. These bungs sit in there like that. And you can see it sits up straight. And hopefully makes things more visually appealing. So let's get those welded in, and then let's see, we got to do the bung on the bottom, get those welded in, and the bracket that holds it, and we're done. Okay, I skipped a couple of small steps in there, nothing major, but I want to show you where we're at, and this project's actually turning out pretty good. So take a look at this. There's the catch can tucked down in his home, and as you can see, it's kind of deceiving on the camera view there, but it's not all the way in place. It's got a pretty good amount of clearance there with the wheel turn full lock. So I think we got one more bracket to add to it and then make the hoses up, and we'll stick a fork in this one and it'll be done. Well, almost done. I'm missing a fitting, one single fitting, and it always seems to work out that way, but it turned out really good. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, check it out, show you what it looks like fully mounted up and all that neat stuff. All right, so there's the fitting that we're missing, and that hose goes around, you know, off the catch can right there, the far side to that side of the valve cover. So I need a hose end 90 there. And anyways, there's the top view. Turned out pretty killer. I'm happy with it. So there's plenty of room in there. It's got a little bit of slack. If it becomes a problem, I can just cut this off at an angle and plate that in. It'll be just fine. All right, folks, that's the end of this video. We got a lot done on the catch can system. It looks pretty good. So that's it. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. We will see you in the next one.